Well, when you're racing Olympus Rally and DirtFish is not that far away, there's going to be a lot of drivers, including Travis, that comes out. And first of all, a big congratulations on taking your class win. Talk us through about what it's like to be an instructor at DirtFish, or used to be an instructor at DirtFish, coming over here, taking the class win, and then just being in your element and having it all come together.
It's just hard to explain because you don't, 5 years ago when I did my very first rally, last on the road, and now I'm up here at the top. So it feels pretty good. It took a lot of work, a lot of extra hours working at DirtFish, trying to save up money and all that sort of stuff. So it's not easy, as anybody that watches this sport knows. You can't just hop in and go. But yeah, I couldn't be happier. This is considered my home of event and rough roads, and yeah, it's just kind of hard to really put all that into words, though. So.
And speaking of rough roads, throughout the entire weekend, all the drivers and co-drivers have been talking about Wildcat being the hardest of the stages out there, especially with the mileage, the twists, the turns, the narrow tree line, road pretty much. How did you tackle that? And then, honestly, were you kind of a little excited that it got canceled going in? Because nighttime just changes everything. The rain was coming in, the clouds were coming in. Just how are you feeling about that?
I was bummed they can't cancel it. Who said they were stoked that they canceled it? I'm kidding. No, actually, I was quite happy they canceled it. Honestly, I had a bit of advantage. I ran Wildcat when that stage first came out. I think it was 2016. And to be honest, the stage is much easier than it was then. It was a fresher road. It was a lot looser. It did rain, and that made it a little tougher, but the road is worked in really well. What that means is it's more packed. The banks are a little bit better, so it's a little bit easier to drive. And also, I've seen those roads in the past, so I had a little bit of advantage there. And the road is, like I said, it's worked in a bit better. So some sections are a little harder than others, fresh shale and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's where the rally was really for most people. But for me, it was this morning, the first few stages where I made all the time back. So.
Well, it's also great to see someone, coming out here 5 years ago. You said, you were just pushing, and it's all come together for you here to take that class win. What's some piece of advice that you'd give anybody out there that's just starting out and being like, hey, this is something that I want to do. Travis did it, I can do it. So what's some advice?
Well, it's probably something that most people have heard all the time. If you want something bad enough, you have to try. You have to sacrifice quite a bit. Not maybe not to the extreme where you need to sell everything, but if it's important to you, you need to save the money and just work on your own team, meaning yourself, and not worry about getting so much exposure of who you are. You have to have a good foundation of what your team is with your co-driver, your buddy, and not worry about getting, I hate to use this word, famous. If you don't have a good foundation and a good, reliable car, and try to have the best video and all that stuff, and I know you guys are doing media and all that, and which is very important, but if you don't have that, nothing else is going to work, and that's the foundation, is a good, basic, strong car that'll finish events. So then if you are, popular, whatever, you're going to be there at the end. So.
And speaking of your car, can you give us a little rundown on what you have here this weekend?
So this is a Mitsubishi Evo. It's a new car for me. The first event that I did actually was Olympus. I finished 1/2 of a mile last year. Broken axle, did snowdrift in this guy. I'm a Subaru guy, obviously, with DirtFish. I love those cars. I wanted to try a new platform, and I'm still figuring this thing out. It's a wicked fast car. I just need to figure out how to drive it.
Well, you've done it here, and it seems like you're figuring everything out. So like I said, another big congratulations. And I've always done this with everybody, no matter what type of form of motorsport. In one word, how are you feeling about the overall weekend and that win?
Relief.
You want to know something? Somebody else said that they felt really relieved about that, and that was Ken Block. So both of you are feeling the same exact thing right now.
All right. That's great.
Thank you very much for your time.